Hey everybody, it's Motley GM. Before we get into the video today, this is probably the last one I'm going to record for Independent Tabletop RPG Month in 2024. Now, for this channel, every month is Independent Tabletop RPG Month, but I just go a little overboard this month. So, last one I'm doing for this month, 4-Color Heroics by Spectrum Games. If you want to play some old school superhero stuff using a D10 pool system, this is pretty cool. You should check it out. I really love the aesthetic and the old school comic style artwork they do in here. Check it out. That's spectrumgames.com. I'll put the link in the description below. But that being said, let's move on to the video of the day. All right, guys. So this video today, it's kind of a off the cuff video. I'm not sure how I'm going to categorize this video. Essentially, it might be just kind of a rant, or at least a collection of thoughts thrown out there. But after seeing a few other YouTube tabletop RPG channels previewing the new version of that game I don't really mention here a lot, and videos done by channels like Dungeons and Discourse and PDM at Dungeon Craft, and their videos are linked in the description below. They're covering the latest announcement from Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. And I thought that even though it seems a bit arrogant, I would throw my 2 copper piece into the mix. I would give some brief thoughts and opinions and state clearly where this channel stands, just in case I haven't been clear enough by now. But let's take a look at the big picture really quick. And I'll get this part out of the way right up front. Corporate entities controlling any beloved or respected names from the past strips it of its soul. That's just going to happen, right? What we're really looking at here is a limitation and flaw in capitalism. This is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time. With that, we have to understand that name recognition is a big commodity, and corporations are designed to maximize profits and find a large customer base. They're going to do that whether we like it or not. And that name brand game that I'm calling it now is owned by a corporate entity and controlled by that. Let's just say it out loud. That name brand game has been different ever since the onset of the 3rd edition, and I would argue at that time it was already becoming more corporate, and this is just the natural progression of that. That's just the way it is. It's owned by a corporate entity now, and we do have to accept that. And I think after the OGL scandal, many of us have. But what is the announcement? The announcement is that Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, is going all in on digital content. This is significant because it comes after the firing of a lot of employees and almost all of the creative team members, and also after they severed ties with a long-term printing partner for physical books. It's also happened after the aforementioned OGL scandal tended to alienate a large group of the tabletop role-playing game community, and they've essentially admitted it. And I won't get into all that. There's other people that cover all that stuff better, but they've essentially admitted it, that they've done it, and that's fine with them. This decision also comes after a great deal of market research. And the thing is, guys, corporate is going to corporate. Digital will be the future for them to make money on. And that's the way they're going to do it. They're going to use every trick and gimmick in the book to lure people in to a digital game that they can have their own enclosed system. And this is the way they're going to be able to monetize the brand. And that's what this is all about for them, monetizing the brand. And if they're going to monetize, this is the way they're going to do it. And that's something we have to accept. So what does it really all mean at the end? Well, what it appears to be is the name brand game that's almost synonymous with the tabletop hobby that we love so much is going to end some really long-held tabletop RPG traditions of artwork and writing by real people who happen to love the genre. It also wants to create that walled-off system I was just hinting at that'll basically make them maximize these profits. It's what they want to do. Now, by the corporate name brand here making this move, they're going to lose what I feel are some of the core traditions to the hobby as both a game and an art form. It will also have the collateral damage of further alienating the tabletop community at large. And I feel that's what they want. I feel that's exactly what they're going for. So where am I coming from in all this? Right, well, for one, I am actually a fan of digital gaming and the opportunities that it creates. I appreciate having things like reliable internet access, virtual tabletops that I can use, programs like Discord, access to maps and map makers, and even PDFs that allow me to purchase games often a lot less expensive than the physical books. And I can get it instantly without having to wait for shipping or anything like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I love in-person gaming, but that's not something that's possible for me. If it wasn't for these digital tools that I just mentioned, I couldn't have a steady group or even play at all because of where I live and how isolated I am. There's other people like that out there that have that same issue, so I'm not against digital gaming entirely, of course. It's something I use very often and I'm very thankful for. Fortunately for myself and others like me, digital gaming already exists. They can't monopolize that. They tried to do that and they can't really do that, especially now that there's so many other established virtual tabletops, and many of them really do support a lot of independent RPGs. We are not going to be left behind when it comes to all this. We have our own space to do the same thing in. They're just not walled off the same way. Now, all that being said, I am a person who loves the physical books from tabletop games, especially the really nice, well-made ones. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that's not part of the collector in me, but something about having that physical book and being able to look at the artwork is reminiscent of being a child and looking at the early games of that game I won't mention anymore. And the artwork in there is what really drew me in and inspired me. And that artwork was done by real people who had amazing talent. And that's the thing that really sticks with me so much, and why I'm so much on the side of artists and writers, because it's just one of the things that really drew me into what tabletop gaming really was all about. I mean, let's face it, I'm a sucker for artwork made by real artists that give that inspiration. And I enjoy writing done by people who actually love tabletop games and or the genres that they're writing for. And having that writing and that artwork all put together in a beautiful physical book is just something that some of us just really, really enjoy. And I'm one of those people. So seeing books leave any kind of game or not even be available for a game does in some ways impact my opinion of that game. If a game is only available in PDF form, it might be a great game, but I'd really love to have that physical book. But since I have my feet firmly placed in both areas, both in in-person gaming, physical books, real artwork, and in the digital space that allows me to play games where I otherwise wouldn't, my vote is to embrace digital gaming and uplift those who ensure that those of us who are not buying into the growing corporate machine have games to play and digital places to play them. And I don't think I'm coming to any conclusions that most of us aren't already coming to here. I'm just saying it out loud, basically. Now, I've been very clear that this channel stands behind, supports, and assumes to be a part of the OSR and independent tabletop RPG community, and that is where it will remain. This channel will also continue to remain standing with real-life artists and real-life writers who are actual people and give a game a soul, a feel, and that certain little spice that AI and large corporations just can't replicate. Now, I'm aware that this decision to not cover or even consider that corporate name brand game makes my channel much less marketable. But I'm not doing this channel for those reasons, so that's just fine with me. Furthermore, this is not to say that I want to exclude or show any kind of hatred towards people who do want to play that corporate game. As a matter of fact, what I do want to do is encourage others who are like me, who share the love of the tabletop RPG community at large, to be bridges and not gatekeepers. OSR and independent tabletop RPGs have thriving communities with awesome people creating equally awesome stuff. Feel free to show it off. Go ahead and invite people to play in a tabletop game that isn't that corporate name brand. Play and run different games in different genres. And support the games and virtual tabletops you like and the people that make them by spending your money with them instead. Just like we've all been essentially doing since the OGL, at least those of us who have broken off from that name brand and decided that we actually enjoy real creativity and games that just do the game better. And yeah, that's me talking a little smack there, but hey, I wouldn't be me if I didn't at least once in a while. Anyway, guys, I'm going to close this up because I can ramble on about a lot of different things. Something I want to point out is that one of the beautiful things about the tabletop RPG community is its unity among diversity. Look to the OGL scandal and how everybody stood together in solidarity for that. And I think that gives you a good idea of what I'm talking about here. But this has been my experience, at least. We all have different talents and backgrounds and experiences and beliefs, but we still all come together to create, to tell stories, and to experience a little bit of that extraordinary together. And from that silly little hobby, friendships and communities arise, and I think that's pretty amazing. That's just my own mediocre opinion, of course. What's your thoughts on all of this? Let me know in the comments below what you like about digital gaming, what you like about in-person gaming, or if you just disagree with me altogether. Let me know why. A big shout out to my little community of subscribers here. I really hope that we can encourage each other to be creative and to reach out and bring people in to other genres and independent games that are super awesome. Stay tuned to the channel, guys, because I will be pointing out much more of those things and bringing those things a little bit more to the forefront as time goes on here. I also want to give another huge shout out for my gaming group. You guys are the best and inspire me more than you possibly know. And finally, a big shout out to Dungeons and Discourse, one of my favorite channels. She's hilarious. Go check her out. And of course, Dungeon Craft. Links to the videos that I referred to earlier in the video should be in the description below. Please check them out and give them a thumbs up and join their channels if you haven't already. Those are awesome channels. But all right, my people, please go out. Try some independent games. Take the time to give some other games and genres a shot. You might be surprised at how easy it is to play for fun first. Thanks for watching, everybody.